The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Hey, it's me, Yamini, and you're listening to Pillow Fight. If you want more of us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PillowFightPod. If you love us, leave us a review in the Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got an amazing episode in store for you, so buckle up. Thanks so much for listening.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of
And
goose?
we got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Today on Pillow Fight, I'm joined by Marianna Nascimento, a Brazilian-Canadian writer, actor, and comedian based out of Toronto. You can find more of her on Twitter and Instagram at It's Marianna. In this episode, we discuss Piers Morgan, the new Gossip Girl, and share our true unfiltered thoughts on Seth Rogen's pottery.
Fuck. Marry? Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill. The first one is that the pop star Pink has offered to pay the fines that were handed to the Norwegian women's beach handball team for wearing shorts instead of the mandated bikini bottoms they were supposed to wear. Number two, Issa Rae just got married and posted the pictures to Instagram. It was her first time posting her husband to Instagram. She called the event an impromptu photo shoot in a custom dress and said she took a few flicks with somebody's husband. Number three, in 2015, then 7-year-old Raisa Leal caught Tony Hawk's attention with a short vine of her skateboarding into Cinderella costume. After resharing Leal's video, Hawk made it go viral. Now, 6 years later, Leal has just placed silver in the Olympic women's street skateboarding competition. So, fuck, marry, kill. Pink pays up, Issa Rae's surprise husband, and Vine star goes silver. What would you do?
Okay, fuck Issa Rae because no, marry Issa Rae.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think because I would like to be in the photo shoot, her wedding photo shoot. It's like a 2-in-1.
She said like her bridesmaids, or she was like, wow, like all my friends showed up in the same dress. How embarrassing.
I just love the energy of like revealing her boyfriend, husband, like at their wedding.
Yeah.
It's powerful energy and I love it. I have to say fuck the skateboarder, even though she's 13, so like don't actually
Well,
fuck the skateboarder.
You're fucking
yeah,
the concept
fucking
of
the
her
fact that
winning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's Brazilian, and as a fellow Brazilian, I have to support. And then I'm sorry to Pink. Although awesome that she's offered to pay up as she should, because I'm sure she has a lot of money and that's what rich people should do always. But I have to keep my loyalty to the Brazilians, and also I love Issa Rae more than Pink. Sorry, Pink.
No, I thought that the Brazilian skateboarding uniforms were so cute. I was like, what a little fit.
I know. I have really been enjoying watching skateboarding. I don't understand anything about skateboarding, but it has been fun. And also just the fact that 13-year-olds are like winning is insane. I'm like
all three of the winners of the street skateboarding competition were under 18.
Yeah,
so.
I think 13, and 16. And I'm like, you know what I did when I was 13 is just read Twilight all day. So
yeah.
The fact that they're out there winning Olympic medals is good for them.
It's insane. I also would kill the Pink situation. Here's my take on it, is that Pink is a wealthy pop star, and she probably has a lot of money, and I do think she should be helping people pay things. I think that this shouldn't even be a case in which she has to pay something for an Olympic team to have to pay a fine for wearing literally like spandex instead of bikini
I know, like
bottoms.
the tightest, tiniest little shorts.
Yeah, is insane. And I'm like, if we didn't have that situation and we could maybe pay, for fees for people to apply to college or some housing stuff or scholarships or food
like
bank,
literally anything else.
Yeah. And I just wish like the Norwegian women's beach handball team can just play beach handball in peace, and Pink can donate her money to something more pressing and like something that actually has an effect on society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to rag on the Norwegian women's beach handball team. They're just doing their thing. I think they're just victims of this whole sexist mess, but I'm not saying they don't deserve to have their fines paid. I'm saying they don't even deserve to have a pay a fine that Pink has to pay in the first place. So kill. And then I would marry the Rachel Leal silver medal situation, because I think it's really cute that like she was on a vine in like a Cinderella costume skateboarding at 7, and now she's like won the Olympics and Tony Hawk is like rooting for her. And I just think Tony Hawk is one of those people that I have no idea like anything about him really, but he seems chill. And like,
yeah, I could not pick Tony Hawk out of a lineup. I don't think
anyone knows what he looks like. But I also just like that she was so like sweet, and like the girl who won gold, I like saw her like giving her a hug and was like fist bumping her after. I was just like, that's so cute, and I love that. And then I would fuck the Issa Rae surprise husband situation, because I just think that's like hot to like have this like secret and be part of this like secret situation. Just like pop up on your Instagram and like these sexy wedding day photos. So
agreed.
Yeah, I would fuck that situation. But yeah, I think that it's like really, it was like cool to see that, because Issa Rae is also like not really like a shy person who doesn't talk to the media or anything. I think a lot of people who like keep their lives a secret like that like just kind of are under the radar, and she's like not. So I thought that was like cool to see. But yeah,
I agree.
Now everyone's gonna keep their boyfriends off their Instagram until wedding day.
That's definitely my case. I definitely have a secret boyfriend that I'm only gonna reveal when we get married. I'm not single.
I'm waiting for the wedding invite, and that's when we'll know. All of your friends too, like that's when they'll find out. Yeah. What else have you been watching of the Olympics?
My roommate is like very into the Olympics. So she has it on all day, every day. So I just watch whatever she's been watching. But the things that I make sure to catch are gymnastics, because I love gymnastics. And also it just like blows my mind watching them do stuff. I'm like, half of these gymnasts for sure signed deals with the devil where they're like, gravity will not confine me.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for Simone Biles now in this whole thing where she's okay.
I was watching it live this morning when she like pulled out of the competition, and everyone was like, what happened? Was she injured? And then I saw she was like retweeting a bunch of things about how like mental health matters and stuff, which I think is awesome. Not that I'm not like glad she pulled out of the competition, but I'm happy that she felt like comfortable enough to be like,
prioritize herself.
I can't do it today. Like this isn't what I want to do. And I think that must have been such a hard decision, because I know there was obviously so much pressure on her.
Yeah. Also, she's like a legend. So
I know. I saw like it's just insane. Like she's definitely one of those people that I'm like, you signed a deal with the devil. Like you defy gravity on some of the things you do. There's just no way that should be like physically possible.
But now I'm like, the devil's letting go on his end of the contract. I saw Piers Morgan tweet this thing that was like, this is so stupid. Like, we're just using mental health as an excuse for like poor performance. Like, this is not a role model or whatever. And I'm like, okay, you try doing that. Like, What?
Piers Morgan was not a part of the fuck, marry, kill, but I would like to kill Piers Morgan.
Yeah, you can do fuck, marry, kill, kill. Well, we'll do fuck, marry, ignore, and we can ignore the pink paying up, and then we can kill Piers Morgan.
Okay. Yes.
That's an amended statement. Yeah, but it reminds me of like that whole, which we'll get to Naomi Osaka later. I have a would you rather about her, but when she didn't play in the French Open because she didn't want to talk, like they really expect so much out of these like athletes beyond just physical performance, and especially like Black women who are young are definitely taken advantage of in like the media. But the American gymnastics teams, they are all really, really talented, and they still got silver, right? So
Yeah, no, they still did super well, especially considering like I think it was 2 of them performed in like apparatuses that they weren't planning to perform in. And then because Simone pulled out, they had to, so it was very last minute, and I'm sure it was very nerve-wracking to like not plan to do something and then have to do it on like the world's biggest stage. So they still did super well, and like silver, you're still like second best in the world is still pretty good.
Yeah. It's insane to me that the Olympics were invented like in ancient Greece, and then we just like were like, fun tradition, let's keep doing it. Like
Yeah.
It's so funny to me, but
yeah, so many things about the Olympics just like don't make sense to me. Like Russia like not being allowed to compete, but then it's like no, like the athletes can all still compete. It's just like the country of Russia is banned.
What's the deal with that?
Like, it's like basically they wanted to punish like the country as opposed to the athletes, because the whole like doping scandal was like state led, which is insane that they were like, no, let's give steroids to our athletes. And like there's a documentary on Netflix about it that I want to watch. But then so they're allowed to compete, but they're not allowed to use like the Russian flag. They're not allowed to use like Russia as a name. They're not allowed to like have their anthem. So like anything that like ties back to like the country and like state, there is not allowed to happen, but the athletes are still allowed to compete. It's very weird.
But like, are they independent? Like,
I don't know.
That's wild. But I thought it was also funny how the NBA finals just happened, and like right after, like members of the Bucks and the Suns like had to just like get on a flight together and go to Tokyo to play in the basketball team together. And that's like so funny how like the teams would get reshuffled. Same thing with like the World Cup, soccer. I think that's funny.
Yeah. Like you're playing with your rivals. Yeah.
But you know, I think it's a crazy whole
sports
situation.
Are whack. Sports are weird.
Are really whack, and I'm just so unathletic too, so it's like really wild to watch. But I like swimming. I like watching swimming.
Oh yeah, I've been watching swimming too. Swimming is one of those things that I like watching because I can understand what a win is. Like I'm like, oh, they were first to get there. I suppose like other things I'm like, oh yeah, that looked really cool. I have no idea if it was good or not, but it looked nice.
Yeah.
Like I was watching surfing yesterday and I was like, I do not understand what's going on. But swimming is nice. Like they even have like the line where it's easy to tell.
I love
like,
the line.
I'm like, oh yes, I understand. First. You got first.
Some Canadian girl won yesterday in swimming.
Yeah, I what's her name? Something Kylie Moss, I think is.
I was thinking someone else. Her name was like with an M. She was Asian.
Oh, Maggie McNeil, I think. Yeah. Yeah, she won.
The butterfly.
I think. Yeah, I think it was like I just love seeing their faces too, because they obviously like don't know who's winning because you're too busy swimming, and so like she like looked at the scoreboard and she was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
it's always so cute.
I'm like, when someone does
and
it,
there was that.
No, go on.
No, did you see that? It was like a tweet that was going around of this Australian coach, his reaction when I'm obsessed with that video.
And there's the woman behind him, like,
yeah, I was like,
she's like, okay, and he's just like,
yes.
And she's like, okay, like, can we just go like that?
She's so like trying to be like, no, you have to stay in the zone, but also be like, I'm scared of this man. He's like clearly having an outburst.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it's insane watching like sports people react to things sometimes. I'm like, you have all of that in you and it comes out watching this. That's insane. Yeah. I can't imagine that being the thing.
Know. It just it gives me so much anxiety to watch from the other side of the world, like on my TV. I'm like, I can't imagine watching this like live in person.
Yeah.
I think that would stress me out too much. I don't know if I could do it.
It is, especially the Olympics is like the world's who's who of sports. But we spent all of yesterday in my apartment watching sports. So we watched the Olympics until 5 or 6, and then we put on The Bachelor. And that was the second sporting event of the day.
That is an extreme sport for sure.
Have you been watching this season?
I haven't been watching this season. I don't know why. I think it's because when it started, like, and I wasn't vaccinated, and so like The Bachelor to me is like something I watch with like my friends. Like it's fun, like getting a group together and stuff. And so it just didn't feel like the vibe wasn't there. But I follow a bunch of people that watch it, so I feel like I kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I haven't been keeping up with it too much as I have in other seasons.
Last night there was when this is going out, it'll be last week. But last night there was a devastating, heartbreaking goodbye from Michael Olio, who is a single dad.
I love the single dad.
The sweetest little angel. And his wife had passed away right after, like a few months after giving birth to their son. So it's very sad. And he left because his son FaceTimed him. Like they had been FaceTiming every day, which like the producers obviously liked him if they let him do that, because like they're not supposed to do that. So but he's like, I think that you're gone because you don't want to see me anymore. And then he was like, fuck. And then he went to Katie and was like, I feel like I have to go back. And she was like, I thought like I was going to pick you basically. And then he was like, I have
devastating.
To go. Yeah. I'm secretly hoping that
do you think they're going to rekindle?
I hope that I heard rumors that she ended her season early. Next week is supposedly the finale. So I don't know. Maybe it isn't, but I think it is. Maybe not. I think there's maybe 2 more episodes.
How many people are left?
3 now. But they haven't done hometowns because he kicked himself out before hometowns. Which I'm like,
always so sad.
I'm always. I know. I'm also like, she could, they could have gotten his son out wherever they're filming for the hometown and just like not put him on camera if they didn't want and like let him have his time with the kid or like. Yeah. But I don't know. I liked him a lot, but yeah. The other person I really liked a lot was Blake Moynes from Claire and Tasha's season is on this season again. And it's a way better fit. But the two of them are just all they do is just talk about sex together. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, I like how open Katie is about things. Like she seems a lot more like real than some of the other bachelorettes. She challenged them all to a week off of whacking off so they couldn't masturbate for a week, which I thought was just a strange thing to put in The Bachelor. But that is a weird thing, but because there was no like payoff on it, it was just like, it's not like Too Hot to Handle where you get money for it. Yeah, I think they just saw Too Hot to Handle was like, that's the thing right now, like let's throw that in there. But Too Hot to Handle is another show that like watching it, I'm like, it can't be that hard to abstain for money. Like if someone was like, you can have $100,000 if you don't have sex or masturbate for like 3 weeks, I'd be like, okay. These people are literally though, like they haven't gone like 2 weeks without having sex in their life. Yeah, which
No,
is
since they started,
insane.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. Some of them I'm like,
Did you watch the newest season of it?
I did. Have you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I wanted Cam to win.
Me too.
Because I thought he actually did like change, whereas I feel like Marcel was
Marvin?
like Marvin, yeah. Marvin was like, I feel like he was just putting it on too much. Like he was like pretending that he changed.
Also, like he didn't.
But I did really like Belinda.
Melinda?
Yeah, fuck. Okay.
I feel like you watched some like knockoff version of Too Hot to Handle where everyone has like a different name.
Marcel and Belinda.
Marvin and Melinda. Yeah, I loved Melinda. I thought she was so beautiful and so funny. But they didn't stay together also because like he was being a douche and like canceled their trip because
and
they were in a
also
fight.
Wasn't it revealed he has like 4 baby mamas or something?
I didn't know that.
After?
I didn't know that.
Maybe I'm making that up. But I feel like
I think Melinda's dating Peter now.
Yeah, I really didn't like Peter. I was honestly glad when he left.
I thought he was really annoying, but but Cam and Emily are together and they look like, happy. Yeah.
I know. I actually quite like Cam and Emily. And I'm like, they moved in together and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I believe in love. Yeah, so Marvin has 4 children with different women. And he owes 17,000 pounds in child support.
Well, I guess he got the money to pay it off.
Yeah, I hope that's what he used it for.
Did Melinda know this?
I know, he's 26 and has 4 baby mamas. That's insane. I don't think that she did know this.
That's some Nick Cannon levels shit.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon's babies. Have you watched Sexy Beasts though? Have you watched Sexy Beasts? That's the real question.
I haven't watched it yet, but my best friend was telling me about it yesterday, and now I must watch it because I at first thought it was a game, like a dating show about furries. To be honest,
yeah.
But now that I realized what it was, I was like, oh, okay, I can watch this because I don't know, furries really freak me out. So
yeah,
I was like, I don't really want to watch that.
Not to kink shame, but I just like don't want to be a part of that. Like you do you, but I don't want to watch it.
Like do it, but I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about furries. But no, we watched the first episode of it, my roommates and I, and it was really strange. And in the end, she picked this guy who ended up then she ended up like going on Instagram and like shading him, like being like he wasn't who he said he was. And then I found out my roommate's friend knows one of his baby mamas, that guy. So it seems like all of these guys showing up are just like kind of estranged baby daddies on these shows. But it felt like that show, it felt like Sexy Beast was like people who didn't make it on Love Island. It was like B tier.
Yeah. I think my friend was telling me that one of the people on Sexy Beasts was on that season of Are You the One? Have you ever watched Are You the One?
I've only watched like the gay season.
Dating yeah, she was on that season.
Oh, I haven't. I've only watched one episode.
People on Sexy Beasts.
I've only watched one episode.
Yeah, so I'm apparently whoever was the one on that season didn't work out because she is on another dating show.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I'll have to go look out for that. But yeah, there's a lot of TV out there about dating right now. So whatever your flavor is, if it's one girl, 20 men, pick a husband, if it's no sex on this island and you win $100,000, or if it's get put in prosthetics to make you look like a literal mouse. and then end up with a lover. Whatever you want, you have it. Since
Whatever floats your boat.
We're in peak television times. We really are.
Would you rather, would you rather, would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie, Old, just got to theaters. It's about a beach that makes people old. That's all I know because I haven't seen the movie yet. But would you rather right now?
I'm seeing it tonight.
Well, I hope it's good. People are really talking about it.
I know. I need to see it because everyone won't shut up about it. And I'm like, I need to know what happens now.
Yeah. Would you rather age 20 years right now or go back in time 20 years and have to relive 20 years again?
Damn. Okay, so if I went back 20 years, I'd be 6. So I'd have to redo all of my schooling and grow up again in the age of social media, which I think is not something I want to do. Mm-hmm. I think, I often think about how I am lucky that I feel like I was born in 95, and there's a lot of debate about whether that's Gen Z or millennial. I personally think I identify a little bit more. I'm a Gen Z rising, but a millennial sun. I identify a little bit more with millennial because
you can be a zillennial.
A zillennial, I guess is what it is. Because when I made an Instagram when I was in my senior year of high school. Yeah. And it was it wasn't a thing really. It was some people had Instagram, you went on it a couple times a week. It wasn't what it is now. And TikTok and stuff like that. I just think about how embarrassing the things, if you look on my Facebook, what I posted when I was 13, around 13, 14, when I first got a MacBook that had a camera, and I would do stupid little webcam videos and with the photo effects and stuff. And I'm man, if I had something like TikTok where I could post that and show the entire world, I would be so embarrassed. So I feel I couldn't do that. So I would, and I feel I would, if I aged forward 20 years, 46, I feel nowadays, that's still quite young. I used to think that was old when I was younger. And now I'm no, I feel a lot of people only get their shit together in their 40s.
Yeah, I feel you have a lot of life to live after 46 still.
Yeah. And yeah, so I would age forward. I would go to 46, I think.
I would go to the old beach and get older too. I would go to my 40s as well. I feel all the all the hard stuff would have been figured out already. Kind of the finding yourself situation. I feel I would just kind of have stuff to do and it would be stable at 43. But I don't want to be 3 years old and have to do this again. I don't want to have to be parented again. I don't think that I think I'm still.
Yeah, no. If it was 10 years, I would maybe consider going back to being.
You'd go back to being 16?
Maybe. I would consider it a little bit more than going back to being 6. But I do think the aging forward is a normal aging. Is the way to go. Yeah.
And nowadays also you want to be 46, you can, there's so much technology, you can look however old you want to look at 46. But
it's true. I mean, look at Jennifer Lopez just turned 52.
Yeah.
And she is living her best life, reunited with her man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She seems to be thriving.
Yeah. I think that going forward is definitely the way to go.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that it's such a lie perpetuated that women are at their finest in their early 20s. It's so.
I hope that is not true.
No.
I really hope I haven't peaked already.
I think it's just perpetuated by men who want to take advantage of women that they feel are still in their youth. So, yeah. but that's besides the point. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this is. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so I'm very curious what the twist is going to be.
I know. I'm like trying very hard to not be spoiled, and I read this tweet, and it was like, I thought it was so interesting that the twist was, and I like literally like physically threw my phone. I was like, I can't see it.
Oh no, I think when a movie's still in theaters, you should not be spoiling it on Twitter.
I agree, especially a movie like M. Night Shyamalan. Like that's literally his whole thing is like the twist.
Yeah,
is there's always a twist, so it's like, why would you spoil that?
Like imagine watching The Sixth Sense for the first time and knowing the end. It wouldn't hit you the same way. It would not.
It's not. It's way. Yeah. I agree.
But love to see some good old Indian representation in Hollywood. So hopefully this is a good movie. I've heard decent things. I've heard one of the Naked Brothers is in it, right? From Naked Brothers Band. Yeah. Yes. I had such a crush on them when I was a kid.
And then there's a lot of like, it's one of those movies I had no idea was being made or anything, and then I saw like an ad for it on Instagram, and I was like, wait a second, this movie actually looks fun. And then all of a sudden everyone was talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I had the exact same experience. I was getting it as like an ad on other shows I was watching, but I don't know, I wasn't like, oh my god, I didn't even think I was like gonna go see it, but then everyone's talking about it now. I'm like, okay, I probably should go see it. So I saw Zola. Zola was my first. Go on.
Your first movie theater experience back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am probably like TIFF, like the Toronto International Film Festival, has like digital screenings of Zola, so it's only like $12 to see, like at your home, and I am probably gonna invite some friends over and watch it.
Yeah, that's good.
But Old, unfortunately, can only be seen in theaters, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll venture to the theater for the first time in a little bit under a year, because randomly in like September of last year, they opened movie theaters for like 2 weeks, and I went to see After We Collided. Like fan fiction movie.
Yeah.
Is the last movie I saw in theaters.
The last one I saw before Zola was like Uncut Gems, probably like some other, and this movie had Uncut Gems vibes a little bit. Zola did, but it was also like an A24 movie about like an adventure gone wrong. But yeah, so I'm gonna see Old, I guess. Also, I've been meaning to tell you, this is like not, I don't think the podcasters care, the listeners care about this, but my friend Isabella, who I wrote that pilot with, who you met digitally, whatever, she for work has to go to the Toronto Film Festival in like September. And so she was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I told her I would link you guys up, so maybe meet up or something.
I definitely will be attending,
so
because it's my favorite time of year, and I was very sad that last year it was just digital. But I did get to see Shiva Baby last year.
I still haven't seen it. I need to see it. Where can I watch it? I feel like
it is, I want to say Hulu maybe in the States.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
HBO Max. It's definitely streaming somewhere, because it's streaming on Crave here, which is where it's like the Canadian version of Hulu and HBO Max, and it gets like all the random like network shows.
My roommate is from Montreal, and he was like saying, he was like, this would be on Crave in Canada, but like because he hadn't had access to HBO Max, and he was like, these are all the shows I'm gonna watch now that I have access to your HBO Max. But speaking of HBO Max, new Gossip Girl.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I have so many thoughts.
Yeah.
I am a Gossip Girl stan. First and foremost, I have seen the original series probably 6 or 7 times in its entirety.
Whoa.
I It's like my comfort show. It's like the show that I put on when I need background noise and I'm not necessarily like watching anything, but I want to be watching something and have something on. It's like a show that you can put on any episode and I know what's going on and I can tell you what happened the episode before and the episode after. Like
the most memorable moment for me of the original Gossip Girl is the threesome that Dan has with Britney Spears and like his girlfriend at the time.
Hilary Duff.
Oh, sorry. Why did I say Britney Spears? I literally knew it was Hilary Duff. Oh, I just can't stop thinking.
I wish Britney Spears was in Gossip Girl.
It would be crazy. That would literally be insane. It's not too late for her to be in this new one. So,
yes, that is definitely, yeah. That episode is insane. There's also, I think it's the episode right after that Lady Gaga has a guest starring role in it. Yeah. So I was really excited when they announced that they were doing a reboot. And then obviously COVID happened and I was like, oh, is it gonna still be filmed? Like, is it gonna come out on time? And then finally they had a release date and I was so excited and I like literally like gathered my friends to come watch the pilot with me because it was a momentous occasion. And I was so disappointed with the first 2 episodes. Like, it was fun. I was like, oh, I like it because I love watching like rich teenagers be like very unteenage like to me at least. I'm like, this is not my experience as a teenager, but maybe if you're a millionaire, your teenage experience is different. So I like still enjoyed it in that way, but I was like, oh, I hate that they're making it like the teachers are Gossip Girl.
The teachers are Gossip Girl is the worst part.
Like, and the fact that you know who Gossip Girl is right away, I'm like, oh, it's kind of annoying. I wish they hadn't done that. And the fact that like the teachers do so many weird things and like in the first episode, there's like fucking child pornography, like them like taking pictures of this 14-year-old changing. And I was like, what direction are they going in? Like I was very disappointed. But I will say that the 3rd episode that came out last week, that was
the best one yet.
Yeah. I felt like it actually was going somewhere. Like there's like a plot, because the first 2 episodes I was kind of like, I don't really understand what, like, where is this going? Like, what is the point of the show? Especially the second one. Like the second one, I was almost like,
nothing happened in the second one.
Like,
nothing happened.
Like nothing happened in this. And so I'm like a little bit more excited about it now. I was super excited, got less excited, even less excited with the second episode, and then the 3rd episode I'm like, oh, maybe there's
so see, I had the same trajectory, but it's not for the same reasons. It's because I watched the first episode and the one thing that I cared about, the one story that I cared about is, when are these 3 people all gonna fuck each other? And on
literally
the third episode, I feel like we are starting to get payoff on that story. So I'm like, okay, come on, when is this threesome gonna happen?
I'm definitely, that's something that like I will say is nice to the new Gossip Girl compared to the old Gossip Girl. Like I watched it, I think it has such a special place in my heart because I watched it so many times, and I watched it like growing up. Like it came out in 2007, so I would have been 12. And so I literally grew up watching it. But it was so white and so straight.
Yeah.
So it definitely is nice to have.
Everyone's so beautiful in this one. They're so beautiful.
They're literally all gorgeous. I would love to be married to all of them.
And they're also all like pretty age appropriate casting, which is wild that they don't look it though, because they're all like just so hot. But when Zoya was like, I'm 14, I was like, you're 14.
I know, I was like, as soon as they were like, she's a freshman, I'm like, why would you make this girl 14? Like, that's so and it's like kind of bizarre to me, like a 14-year-old, like I know 14 and 16 isn't that big of an age difference, but it still like feels like, I'm like, 14, you're a baby.
She also like she's going to bars at 14.
Who's the junior.
Yeah, she's like going to bars at 14.
I know. I really don't understand how. I'm like, is the drinking age is 21? Like, how do these 14, 15-year-olds like get into bars and like
They're just wealthy, I guess.
don't know.
So they
Maybe
don't
if you're
card them,
rich, you can just pay. Yeah.
It's very strange.
But I am very excited about that threesome storyline. I really hope that they explore it more.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can't believe Oh, yeah. My favorite line of the entire series so far, when all the teachers are sitting in the hallway and they're like trying to figure out what to do because like they might catch them, the Gossip Girl, and they're like, we need a fall guy. And then the gay teacher walks by, and then the other teacher's like, what about a fall gay? I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Some of the writing, especially in the first 2 episodes, was quite questionable. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, teenagers just don't talk like this.
Oh, remember, I'm ordering Jello shots from Instagram. Do you remember that line?
Yeah.
Like, what? They're like, think of 2 things the teenagers like: Jello shots and Instagram. Yeah.
It honestly does feel like they're like picking things out of a hat, where it's like,
Yeah.
what references can we insert here?
Mhm.
Or when
Remember when they're like, Millie Bobby Brown doesn't have a man, and they're like, Millie Bobby Brown is pre-sexual, but they're the same age.
Yeah. And there was something else where I think one of the teachers was like, we're trying to create, was it Obama's and not Brett Kavanaugh's? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Some of these lines. Ooh,
They're like,
okay.
we're trying to make Nate Archibald's, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't Nate Archibald wasn't he just a guy? Like, what did he do?
He ended up being mayor, I think, or he was the end of Gossip Girl. He was like having a campaign to be mayor.
Mayor of New York. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill de Blasio, who? I think he'd have been a better mayor than Bill de Blasio for sure. But
oh yeah, I actually quite liked Nate. I always thought Nate was an underrated character. People are always like he was useless, but I thought he was nice.
He was a
nice
himbo.
boy.
He was a himbo to
He
me.
was a himbo.
Yeah.
But I liked that. I liked it more than like Chuck. Like so many people like Chuck, and I'm like,
Well, Chuck would not slide in 2021. Chuck?
No.
Yeah.
No, he would not.
Like, I think Max is like their version of like their take on Chuck now, and it's like, yeah, like that's what it's just like kind of a player, but like he's not
like Max is one of those characters where it's like, I understand he's supposed to be 16 and he's just like, yeah, just doing a few bumps and I need some addies, and like I'm like, there are 16-year-olds that do this many drugs?
Like, I just like can't be tied down, and like I'm gonna go on this. And he like sleeps over at the teacher's house in that episode. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and that's another. I really don't like the whole like the teacher student. I hate that.
Yeah.
And I hate that they're like, oh, but the teacher is saying no, and I'm like, no, the teacher's going up to him being like, I don't fuck my students, and I'm like, you could have just been like, hello, stay away from me.
Maybe when you graduate, we can talk about it later. But I don't. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Did you hear that? I don't fuck my students. That's what it's like. I should be charging money for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll lie on my couch. I'll make up the couch for you. But you better not leave the couch, you bad boy. That's like what it was.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have another would you rather that we could do real quick before going to Truth or Dare. So Naomi Osaka was eliminated from the tennis tournament in the Olympics following her loss to Czech player Marketa Vondrousova. Would you rather make it to like whatever, I don't mean in Olympics, just like whatever your dream biggest stage of life is, would you rather make it to the biggest stage and fumble up there, or never make it up there at all? And I don't consider Naomi Osaka losing to be a fumble. I'm just trying to, I'm sure that feels rough for her. So yeah.
I feel like I would rather make it and fumble, because I feel like at least people would be talking about you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I couldn't even tell you like what my biggest dream is right now. That's how like undecided I am in life about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you fumble, like you can get back up and try again, you know?
Yeah.
I think that I would rather, yeah. Which is, I feel like it's something I struggle with a lot is like, I really don't like doing things that I'm not like immediately very good at.
Yeah, me too.
It's like one of my biggest issues is that if I'm not good at something, I'll just give up. And like, that's not how you get good at things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a quitter.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I had the chance to like be like, oh, like I got there and then I fucked up and then I could try again, that would be good for me.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think that I would rather never make it up there at all. Not in like I would just like never try. I think I would just rather be like successful on like a lower circuit than like make it up there. And as soon as I make it up there, like flop. I think I would feel so like question everything so much.
Yeah, that is something like sometimes I'm like, I couldn't like with like even just the Olympics, like I was with men's gymnastics, there was this Japanese guy that was like poised to win gold. And on like the high bar event, and everyone like was like, oh no, he's for sure, like it was kind of like a shoe-in, and then he failed to qualify for the final. Like he just fell, and it was like the most random, like people were like, he's never made that mistake. And I was like, are these athletes put on like suicide watch? Like I feel like I would need to be put on like
it's
that
intense.
would be so hard.
Like this Simone Biles thing too, like it's like the US gymnastics team has won gold like year after year. So that's like
since 2010 they haven't lost.
So
yeah,
it's definitely
that is fair. It's definitely
a lot
like
of pressure.
Amount of pressure.
Yeah,
when you get to the top, it is a very big fall from the top.
Yeah,
so
like that kind of thing is.
The higher you are, the harder you fall. I'm trying to think of the saying when like the higher you are.
I don't know. But also I think it's like Olympics and stuff is like a one shot thing. If I'm like, what is it? If I'm in like a movie that flops, I had like 25 tries to do this shot. Like I'm such a terrible actress. That's on me, not like the circumstance really. Because they will do. Fair. I can do it as many times until I get it right. Like it's not a just one-off thing, and those one-off things are very, very scary.
Yeah, I don't think I'm meant to do things like that, like one-off things. That's not for me. That
I get major performance anxiety. So
me too. I'm like I think about it all the time. I'm like, if I was in the Olympics, I'd literally be shitting my pants, like not in like a cute way. Like I would like have to excuse myself to go to the bathroom and shit my pants.
Yeah, I'd be like doing the floor routine in gymnastics, and then I would like finish and just like diarrhea it out. That would really be what it was.
Yeah. I'm like, sorry, I actually can't wear a Leo because I have to wear a diaper because I'm gonna shit myself.
That's the Norwegian handball team should have said. That it's ableist to make them wear bikini bottoms. They literally, my roommate was pointing this out yesterday. Not only do those people have to like be really good at their sport, they have to fucking get a full-on Brazilian wax every time.
I'm sure they get laser.
It's just like that. It hurts so. I'm like insane.
No, think about the fucking swimming. They have like no hair on their whole bodies.
Well, swimming, that's like kind of how. Well, the more like chlorinated water you have, the harder it is for your body to grow hair.
Really?
Like I knew a lot of guys who swam who didn't have body hair. It's also like aerodynamic. You want less body hair to.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand why they remove their hair.
But I'm like, I think in those sports, in those like volleyball, beach volleyball and stuff, I'm like, ooh, their whole cooch is out there. Like
That I always think about that with gymnastics when they wear their little leotards. I'm like, oh, imagine you're on your period and you like have to compete, and like I would be so paranoid the whole time.
Oh man, I couldn't do it.
I guess they have other things to think about.
I can't even like, I skipped the gym on my period. Like, how would I do that? I don't know. Not
Yeah.
me, but
Truth or dare? Truth or dare?
truth or dare?
Truth.
What's the worst advice you've ever given someone else?
Oh man. I feel like I am so full of myself that I think all my advice is good.
Have you ever wanted to give someone the like bad advice?
Like I've definitely wanted to be more like honest with people about what I think they should actually do, and have probably been like nicer than I wanted to be about like, I don't know, I'm the kind of person that if like a friend comes to me being like, oh, my boyfriend did this, like what should I do? My number one thing, I'm always like, break up with them. Because I never think anyone is like good enough for my friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've probably given shitty relationship advice. Like I've never been in like a serious relationship, so I don't like, I literally am talking out of my ass when I give relationship advice. It's like based on like rom-coms that I've seen and things that have worked out for like characters on screen.
Yeah. I feel like to give advice though, looking on, it's not, you don't like necessarily need to have been in their shoes. Like you can kind of see, sometimes it depends on what the situation is, I'm sure, but you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's fair. Otherwise,
I'm sure that if you ask my friends, they will probably be like, oh yeah, you've given shitty advice before, but like I think my advice is great.
Yeah, good. That's good. Okay. I'll be back to me.
Okay, truth or dare?
I can start with a dare.
Okay. My favorite dare that you've ever done is when you tweeted about getting into Juilliard.
Dylan Adler made me do that. Oh my god, I felt so bad. Literally, like,
that was so funny.
People were so congratulatory, and like, oh my god, Christopher thought that he had like missed something. Like I had told him, and he like forgot, and he was like really worried. Like people, like my closest people were like freaking out. Oh man, I felt so bad. Like Rachel Sennott followed me from that tweet, and I felt I was like, I've scammed the world right now. Like it was about to go. It was like growing faster than any earnest tweet I had ever tweeted.
You're the next Caroline Calloway, just scamming your way.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I like tweet a screenshot of your camera roll.
Okay. Where in my camera roll? Just like.
Okay, start scrolling and I'll say stop.
Okay.
Okay. Are you scrolling? Stop.
Okay. It's just literally pictures of me and my mom and my brother.
A wholesome dare.
Look at this picture.
Aww.
Okay.
You guys all have great hair.
Yeah. It's a good hair family. Okay, wait. So should I just caption it something, or do I just do that?
Caption it, my family is prettier than your family. Retweet if you agree.
Wait, I already sent it, so let me delete it and change it again. So delete. My family is prettier than your family. RT, no. RT, if you agree. XOXO. All right. She's out there.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait, I'm going to delete it because it has I'm going to blur out the location because it has the location of where the photo was, and I don't want someone to come find my house.
Totally fair.
Sorry, this is taking so long. Okay, yeah. Okay. My family is prettier than your family. RT, if you agree, XOXO. All right. From you.
Wow.
Not to. Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
Okay. I'm going to find a picture of Tom Brady. Great. Can you find what you think is like the worst picture of Tom Brady and post on Twitter a picture of him and caption it, "I know I'm Canadian, but Tom Brady could convince me to become a patriot." A winky face.
Okay. Tom Brady ugly is what I just Oh God. Look at this picture.
Oh man.
I know I'm Canadian, but Tom Brady could convince me to become a patriot?
Yeah. And make sure to include a winky face.
Oh my God. It's out there.
Let me go look. Smile.
Tom Brady is it Tom Brady that is married to Giselle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does have a thing for Brazilians, so
yeah. Well, could continue the streak of international affairs. Okay. Lob one back at me now.
Okay, truth or dare?
Truth.
Okay. What is like the most like disgusting thing you've ever done? Like something that you're like, oh man, like other people would not admit to doing this, but you can and have to.
I feel like I do a lot of like medium disgusting things, but I can't think of any like big disgusting thing that I do. I'm trying to think.
I'm just thinking this because I had to do a very disgusting thing the other day. To be fair, it was for like a medical exam.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty gross.
I had to do a lot of gross things for medical exams too. Like anytime I have to shit in some sort of receptacle, it feels so nasty. I feel like, when I have to pee in a cup, but then I accidentally get it on like the lid of the cup, and then I have to like, that's nasty. I like to kind of check out my poop after I do it and see like what I've produced. Like, I'm like, what's the status here? I sometimes pick my nose and stick the boogers in places. I'm too lazy to go.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Like in my bed, I do it. I do it on like the back of the sheets of my bed because I know they're gonna get washed eventually. So it's like nobody's gonna see them and they're gonna get clean eventually. So it's like, why not? But I do that. I don't know. What's high caliber disgusting? I don't know. I don't think I do anything. I've done anything. I've like pooped outdoors. But I don't think anything that's like so.
Have you ever shit your pants in public?
I have not.
Have you shit your pants at home?
I haven't shit my pants ever. I've like crowned. So like
Wow, that's very impressive.
I feel it coming and then I run and go. The past year, the pandemic has been really nice in that I have been home most of the time, so I never have to like struggle for a bathroom.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty good at holding it in, but it's just really painful if I have to do that.
That's fair.
I've peed my pants in public before, but
I've never peed my pants.
Only as a child.
I have. The thing with pooping is that it's not like I don't purposefully do it, but it's like I think it's just a fart, and then it's not a fart.
Yeah.
So what I learned is in the past, like while I've been recovering from whatever gastrointestinal illness I've had, is I can never trust a fart again.
Yeah, I can't trust a burp. I can't trust a burp because sometimes I think they're burps and they're actually throw up. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's I'm the other end problem. Yeah. It's like because I burp a lot just because it's like hard for me to get food down. But sometimes it's like it just all comes out. But this is really nasty. So we've lost half the listenership right now, but I don't know actually because I had someone DM me on Twitter asking me to send them some of my feces. So,
are you serious? Is that legal? I don't think you can legally send.
I don't know. Through the mail. I have no clue. I think
that would be like biological waste.
Yeah,
like hazardous.
If you're in LA, we can meet up. I can do a little poop exchange. I better be paid heftily. I'm the new poop dealer on these streets, but
I mean, if you're gonna I would do it for the cash. I would do anything for a check.
It's also like not that I'm not in that weird of a situation. It's just like I just have to poop. That's all I have to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I am more like you're the weird one that wants that.
Yeah.
Like with me, like I'm gonna poop anyways. I might as well get.
It's also not like you can leak my poop. You know?
Yeah. Like
what are you gonna do? Be like, I have her poop. Who's gonna believe you? Who's gonna believe you? Yeah. Do you want to wrap up here?
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining me. I had such a good time. Is there anything that you want the listeners to know before we peace out?
No.
Nothing at all?
Just follow me on the Twitter. And I will eventually be opening an Etsy shop with my pottery stuff. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna be the next Seth Rogen, except
weed pottery
not as cool.
Don't say that.
And okay,
just a different kind of cool. Not
a different kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just like Seth Rogen has the advantage of being very rich, so he can like have his own pottery studio in his house and like do whatever he wants whenever.
Here's something I'm gonna say, Seth Rogen. I love you. I respect you. More and more, your pottery designs are starting to look like kind of medically concerning. Like a rash.
It's not for me. I will say that his pottery style is not for me.
I loved like the blue when he was doing like blue stuff. But this like red and orange and brown situation, it's like that reminds me of my eczema. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is. It has like a skin disease.
Yeah, but
vibe to it.
You're definitely talented. It's just
and he does make his own like glazes, and like that is very impressive because that involves like science and shit. So
yeah,
good for him. Yeah,
he's certainly talented.
But I hope to do that soon.
Yeah,
I just have to wait for studios to open so that because I can't afford my own pottery studio. but when I can, I'll do an Etsy, and then I'll be the potted Potter. The Potter. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. So
Harry,
true.
as in, I have a lot of hair, and I'm pottery.
Wow. That's like a drag name. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining me. And listeners, I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Pillow Fight is a production by me, Yamini Nambimadom, with music by Greer Baxter.